Hi, it's Chris Watkin here, and I'm joined by David Mintz, who is an estate agent extraordinaire from Manchester, and he also works part-time for Kerfuffle. David, a lot of chat at the moment about estate agents' data and portals and how it's all being used. So the question I want to ask you is this: should estate agents be worried about data and portals and everything else involved with that? Talk to me.
Yeah, I think that data is probably the most valuable commodity that agents hold. They don't even realise it.
But they don't do anything with it. They're all moaning about, I can say this, your boom-ins. I mean, Zoopla does it as well, you know, with Uswitch and things like that. But none of them do anything with their CRM data.
Just because they don't do anything with it doesn't mean that they should hand it over to somebody else to do what they will with it willy-nilly. I think we need to be very conscious that when we do advertise on new portals, and if they are God's gift to the property industry, that may be the case, but agents should be absolutely aware that that data is theirs. It belongs to them. Without that data, Rightmove, Zoopla, Boomin, on the market, they just simply cease to exist. And so that you're the gatekeeper with that data. And it's not just your data, it's your client's data as well. And so if you're handing over this data and those people are being sold products that perhaps fall outside of your agency's immediate remit, you need to think about that really carefully.
Reason why?
Reason why? I think that...
Because they can earn money from it.
Well, I suppose in basic terms of the principles of GDPR, without going into the nitty-gritty of it, is that I come to you, I'm looking for a property, and you can have my details for such time that I'm looking for that property. And after that, really, you should put me to one side. You shouldn't necessarily be looking for a way to sell me a lampshade.
But Rightmove have been doing, not necessarily lampshades, but, you know, Rightmove have been, you know, chucking out emails. You know, do you want to sell your house? Do you want removal firms, that sort of thing?
I think in fairness to those
and
people...
And Zoopla as well. Yeah. Okay, the new kids on the block. You know, if they make a couple of quid on a lampshade, so what?
So I think in fairness to those people that are selling lampshades, Rightmove have been doing this all along. And I don't think we as agents have been conscious of that fact. So when you're offered a Rightmove, I think they call it Discover product, which basically allows you to access all of those people that may be thinking about moving, and Rightmove sort of keep that in their arsenal. They only use it for major contenders or if they think that they're going to lose you. But that product's been available for years, and it's been used by some of the bigger agencies for years. It's always been the way.
Do you think the UK estate agency industry is over-reliant on the portals to sell houses, and even to the point now of actually trying to attract new listings?
I think we had at some point.
I mean, interestingly, I put something out this weekend about as an estate agent, what's the main purpose of having a portal, and 26% of people said its primary job was to get free valuation leads.
It's interesting because agents always look at the portals as a way to get vendor leads. We all assume that the vendor journey starts with them researching who is selling in the marketplace, and the best place to do that is on the portals. Undoubtedly, some people do start their search for an agent at that point.
Do you think it's right, though, that estate agents rely on the portals for their free val leads, or an awful lot of them do?
I don't think we should rely on the portals for anything, particularly. I don't think you can rely on them for anything other than it being your shop window.
Because if we're not careful, we'll end up like all these takeaways that are giving all their profit away to Just Eat. At the rate we're going, with consolidation, we've got horizontal consolidation, we've got vertical consolidation.
I think that people like Purple Bricks put us in a position where we had to justify what we do. We had to...
Rightly so, if people are paying money.
100%. But I think that the day when portals, where you had an agent that just threw something onto Rightmove and expected it to sell, has gone. Now, we're talking in...
Most of them are still there, though.
and that's what we sometimes forget. If you end up, you know, all the podcasts that we listen to and all the stuff that we see on Facebook and all the agency types that we end up rubbing shoulders with, really, they're in maybe the top 10% of all the agents in the country. There are a lot of other agents in other parts of the country that have never heard of you or I, but we've never heard of them either, and they're maybe doing business the way that we would have done 10 years ago, and they will all catch up eventually. But I think that when you look at the time that we've just lived through, we're enjoying the best market that UK agency has seen since maybe, 2004? And if you're to fast forward in 12 months' time, Chris, I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be working in a market that will not be as strong as it is today. And that's when you can't rely on the portals to just do that job.
My biggest fear is that they should be planting the seeds now in the summer of 2021, so they've got something to crop in 2022. Meanwhile, all you're doing is going out cropping, because just because it's a fantastic market doesn't mean that they're a fantastic estate agent.
And that's it. I think a lot of it will go to people's heads. I mean, I see smaller agents that normally don't even show up in our town. All of a sudden, there's activity because this is a vibrant market.
Thank you for your time today, David. Your insights are fantastic. Thank you.
Pleasure, Chris.